FIFA. Ordinary people associate this word with the Football Federation, but for true football fans this word means something more. Yes, that's right, I mean the electronic arts soccer simulator that has won the hearts of millions of soccer fans. FIFA 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All these parts were good in their own way. Every year the game improved and interest in it grew. But a terrible thing happened. Starting with FIFA 18, the game began to be severely criticized due to the lack of changes and the terrible gameplay.
Wait a minute! Do you like it? Yes!
Oh my!
At the same time, EA's revenue broke records every year. How did it happen? Let's figure it out. The official date of the fall of the football simulator FIFA can be called September 28, 2018, when FIFA 19 came out. Despite the fact that FIFA 18 turned out to be bad, users still believed that EA would fix the mistakes from the previous part and thus apologize for the disastrous last year. As we already know, FIFA 19 is considered by many to be the worst part, and this is not without reason. Let's delve into history and find out what led to such a lapse of circumstances. We are moving to the second half of 2013, when the famous 14th part of FIFA came out. Prior to that, EA and Konami fought against each other for the throne of the king of virtual football. The Canadians had the advantage of an advanced online infrastructure in the game, while the Japanese had a trump card in the form of cooler graphics and a great career mode for the player, with which you could immerse yourself in the football atmosphere thanks to a large variety of cutscenes with your player. So, the competition between Electronic Arts and Konami was equal. However, the developers of Pro Evolution Soccer made three obvious mistakes. The first is to simplify the player's career mode. The second is the transition to a new engine, as a consequence of the deterioration of gameplay and graphics. See for yourself, PES 2013 looks much fresher than PES 2014. And the third is the complete absence of any network modes. Because of these oversights, many fans of the game series refuse to buy a new part, because in all respects the previous version is the best newer one. As a result, Pro Evolution Soccer drops out of the race, and the victory on the FIFA side is not due to effort of EA, but due to the idiocy of a competitor. It was from 2013 that the competition between FIFA and PES has completely died. The competition died only on paper, but the license for the Eurocup tournaments remained on the side of the Japanese game, which kept PES afloat for some time. The creation of the online My Club mode in the next part did not significantly affect the competition. But FIFA was in its prime. Revenues from the sale of the game and the virtual currency of FIFA points grew. Bottom line, with Next Gen, a new era has come. FIFA successfully seized the opportunity and moved to the forefront. FIFA 15 is the cult part of the game. Graphically, it was not much better than 14, but the gameplay was completely different. People loved this part. The developers did their best because mechanically EA still had the motivation to improve the game, as PES still had a lot of support and things could presumably change. With the release of FIFA 17 on the new Frostbite engine, it became clear to the public that PES will never catch up with the Canadians. EA progressed every year, and Konami stood still. Electronic Arts felt it and realized that the game can be done without bothering much. Thus, FIFA 18 was released with a huge number of bugs. From that moment on, terrible criticism began towards the developers. But at least incomes were growing, the motivation for change was gone. FIFA 19, 20, 21, 22. All of these parts have been criticized by both experts and ordinary users. But there is no alternative. PES did not offer anything interesting this year either, failing miserably. More and more fans of the Japanese simulator are buying FIFA out of despair. In the end, EA stopped even releasing demo versions of the game so that users would blindly buy another trap. But characterless gamers do not suppress such an attitude of developers to the game, but rather encourage them, because incomes do not stop growing. But a potential competitor to UFL is on the horizon. Probably, in the future, everything can change.